Good morning, this is the third day of Goodwood and a pretty odd one at that. Yeah, it's cancelled. There's expected really high winds and obviously the organisers and health and safety have shut it down because there's lots of tall structures, TV screens. So we're going to go down to the pits now, see what's happening. This is the first time in 30 years Saturday hasn't run here. So as you can see now, like it's absolutely deserted. When we were here at midnight last night, Porsche were actually pulling all their cars out because they were scared of the damage that this wind was going to cause. It'd be interesting to see if the other manufacturers have done that. They've actually taken all the roofs off all the garages. Be interesting as well what they've done to the really big tall stands as well, because obviously this is supposed to be a big one. For them to call this, the amount of money it must be costing, there's got to be some bad stuff coming. So this is the McLaren tent. So they've took even all the signage down, all the cars are gone, not sure where they've put them, obviously got the transporters back. But it's mad to think that, in theory, on Sunday morning, tomorrow morning, this will be back to normal. So we're just gonna go to the driver's lounge, we've got our passes, we've got our tokens, and we'll go get our breakfast. And there you go.
Breakfast? Oh.
Struggling for breakfast, I'm afraid. Maybe tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. So these are all the bikes. Obviously they're extremely easy to put in the back of a van. Every extremely expensive Barry Sheen, Randy Mamola. So one of the problems is some of these cars, like we saw a Ferrari down there yesterday, it was worth £60 million. Obviously that sort of thing is worth moving. It's probably a car which, if it gets damaged, is brittle. If it gets damaged, there's no way of repairing it. If it gets damaged, there's no spares. So that sort of stuff has got to be moved. So these cars were here. So they've moved them over, and I'm guessing that's because when this falls over, it's only going to get to here. That has got to be what they're thinking is. That might give us an idea how bad this is going to be, but this is the worrying bit. Stuff like that, that's what's going to do damage. That in the back of that Miura will make a great photo, but that would be horrific.
How much is that worth?
Million? 1.5 million? And that embedded into the back windscreen will probably devalue it. So this is the Porsche hospitality. Obviously we haven't got a ticket. Now if you imagine at home your garden furniture, well look at this stuff. Now 60 to 70 miles per hour winds there, you know, that's what they're estimating. Like this stuff is going to be everywhere. Now this is an interesting one, whether they're moving these cars. And wow, they're putting them all in the middle together. They're putting them even closer to smash into each other. So we'll have a good look around this. The CLK GTR, unbelievable car, absolutely amazing. But wow, what a machine. So McLaren F1 obviously going up ridiculous in value. That might be £20 million worth. Bugatti EB110 back in the day, Porsche 959. This car, McLaren F1, it was crazy times for supercars. Porsche 959, again, all in the same era as the EB110 McLaren F1, like this car. Like it's so, can I say ugly, which makes it beautiful?
It's like you.
The Benetton Formula 1 car, which we sat in, that's gone.
It's all right, the GT3 car will be safe with its yellow.
Look at that seat, that's ready to take off. So this is the rally cars, obviously, probably a little bit less worried about these because they're meant to be bashed around. Like they're fixing wings on these every other week.
Ready!
Then all obviously the Subaru rally cars for all the different generations. By far the worth the most money is Colin McRae and Nicky Grist's actual rally car, and it's actually in pristine condition. This definitely isn't how it left when Colin last got out of it, because it would have been smashed to pieces, but it is just beautiful. It's like brand new. Obviously very similar really to Ken Block, two absolute legends, champions, amazing, and obviously passed away. And yeah, crazy. This is our friend Kieran's car. So this is Carlos Sainz. Now, for those who don't know, Carlos Sainz, not the Formula 1 driver, his dad, Carlos Sainz Senior. So that was his actual rally car. Love a DS3, mate, and that is an extremely nice DS3. Jane had a DS3. Not as nice as that though. And this isn't Jane's. Wheels are all intact, definitely not an ex-Jane McCann machine. I'm trying to get 15 minutes of a video out, so you've got to help us.
Well, at the minute we're just here, I think, just trying to hold everything down, aren't we?
It's weird they've not took your roof off.
Apparently because we're in this cathedral paddock with a tree line all the way around it, they don't need to.
Oh, they told me that they didn't have time and they sort of like didn't care.
Yeah, they just didn't give a shit about the old touring cars and the old drift cars, did they? We were invited to the house last night for dinner, and the Duke was going through everything and telling us, you know, how they'd come to the conclusions and decisions they made, and it's just basically they're just being advised that later on this afternoon there's a really good chance that it could get really strong winds, and a lot of the shelters are only rated to 30 miles an hour, especially Lotus and apparently Land Rover Jaguar, and a lot of the pit shelters in the main paddock are only rated to 30. Some are rated like to 50, so I think the ones with the pointy roofs that the F1 boys are in are the 50 mile an hour ones, which would be okay, but they're just having to batten down the hatches, and they think it's safest to ask the public not to come today. So
You've actually got an engine on your turbo.
yeah.
The other way around. That's amazing.
Put your hand by the turbo so you can see how big it is.
Yeah, so this is mental. They've brought the lights down, they've took the massive TV screens down. God knows how they've done that. They've put all the cars away, but like, so that we get some perspective. You imagine holding an umbrella. If you don't put the umbrella up, it's fine in the wind. When you put the umbrella up, the wind gets underneath it and takes it up. Now that is what we've got here. We've got open sides and a flat enclosed roof. And obviously the danger is it's going to go like that. If you imagine, how many days did you have to put all this up? And
This has been going for like a month, nearly 4 weeks.
Four
I mean,
weeks.
we haven't been doing it like these guys have, yeah, bless them.
So then they're probably not going to be allowed into whatever time. Then they've got about 4 hours to get it back up till it opens at 7 a.m.
Yeah, they're saying 4:30 they'll probably be here tomorrow.
That's then it gives them 2.5 hours. Ice cream man, he's braving it out, but to be fair, at £7 an ice cream, even if that gets written off, he made his money yesterday. £7 for a Biscoff ice cream. Come on. Getting closer and closer to 11 o'clock, and every minute we're here, you can feel the wind building. So yeah, you can see why they did it. When we got out of the camper this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, I thought, my God, they've made the wrong decision. But now you can feel it brewing, and yeah, you can see why they have to take the precautions. Like, look at that structure there by itself. Like, you know, there's nowhere that's tied down to the ground. I wouldn't have thought. Well, it won't be. So this will be interesting because these are the posh stands, the money stands. I've got Koenigsegg. They're braving that car out. They've put the windproof cover on the other one. So obviously they're taking the risk. It's probably because they're like £5 million cars, but probably only costs about 50 quid to make. It's probably enough profit in there. But like that, like look at that falling apart already. Look.
That's ready to land on a flying spur.
Typical of the Lamborghini brand. Everybody else has done a runner, but the bad balls are sitting out the storm, and they're stopping here and braving it head on. And we come tomorrow and there's just bits of car everywhere. So the wind is really starting to pick up now. Like, you can see the trees going flat out. This is moving. Yeah, you can see it coming in. Got Tesla, Polestar. This is it. The electric section at this show is massive. This is a sort of structure. Obviously the steel works fine, but that sheeting. Interesting. Right, we need to move on. We're getting close to D-Day, 11 o'clock. We've got to be out. Right, that's the safest stand here. Made up of steel containers. I'm guessing that was before the storm. So this is a trade area, and coming from my background with Throw Systems, the motocross brand, we've spent a lot of shows, a lot of weekends, a lot of late nights, a lot of long days working this sort of a thing. Now, it costs a lot of money to be here, obviously. You pay for 4 days. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Now they're cancelling the Saturday. Now we're down to 3 days. So what happens? Say they reduce your cost by a quarter, give you that day back. Well, that's brilliant. It'd be amazing if they did. I doubt they will. That one day you're not earning, and the one day you've got the money back, you've still got all your staff sat in hotels. You've all got the shop not working at home because you're all here. So the expense isn't just the refund of that stand space. So yeah, this is bad for the traders, especially as times at the minute, as we all know, aren't great. So yeah, this could be a difficult time and could make a difference to people making money or losing money. So fingers crossed they've done all right the days which it has been running.
Hello mate, you alright?
What are you doing, taking the expensive stuff?
No, just taking the excess stock out to save doing it tomorrow, because today was the main day, and today we would have sold half of it.
So it's definitely going to hurt you.
Oh, me. Yeah, I've lost a lot of money.
So as you can see, like literally nobody is here. It's just bizarre. It's like an abandoned town. This is what I'm massively into, is the arena cross. Yeah, real shame, but the gas guys are doing an amazing job, and I'm pretty sure they'll probably only have one day out of the 4 of action. And these guys, I know these guys personally, and they want to perform, they want to do tricks. That's what they, that's what they train hard for and work for. So they're going to be gutted that these aren't people who are going to take the paycheck and be happy to be sat at home. They'd be devastated they're not performing. Do you not think it feels to me like it's getting worse every minute, like it's building?
Is, yeah. It's going to be like this all day as well.
You've got to sit here, have you? Have
Like,
you?
It's 7 to 7.
They're going to be dodging tents.
Yeah.
Everything. At this point, I'm going to be dodging cars as well. At this point.
So this time now, about 10:40, you would hardly be able to walk from here. Like, it's sold out for 4 days, so it's maximum capacity for 4 days. And all the other days, this has been absolutely heaving. And today, all there is a few security guards. Oh, that's getting bad now. That's getting bad, isn't it? No, the mud!
This is one of the coolest stands yet.
Yeah, this is an amazing stand. That's not the best place for a 2002 turbo, is it? That's worth some dollar, that is. And that is literally the highest car here.
And it's shaped like a box.
All the precautions we saw a couple of hours ago are starting to fall apart. Like railings are already falling over, things which have been tied down have already broken away. Like, it's going to get worse than this apparently. So I think the damage is going to happen. Look at that BMW from there. Good luck with that. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Yeah, you're right.
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I know. It's a bit odd, isn't it? It's typical the year I do it.
It's great. Now it's all calm and quiet. We can talk about the size of your minute penis. Because there's no cameras about, there's no anything. So have you booked yourself in to have an extension so you can get to an inch?
Luckily, I found the perfect partner in Jane. So
Actually, yeah, you're right.
There's always a
Jane's
plug.
perfect.
There's always a plug to fit every socket.
You can't see it. Hang on. You are a flipping nightmare to be about.
Have you seen the mural and everything? They parked it exactly a wall fall over distance away from the wall. So
The walls aren't going to fall over. The tents aren't going to blow away. The trees aren't going to come down. It'll all be fine.
Been advised from my control room that all expeditioners need to be off site by 11 o'clock.
Yeah, no problem. We're literally walking back up now.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you very
good
much.
stuff. Thank you. So this is the difficult one. We're obviously going to leave this now. We've been kicked out. We've got to go. The wind's picking up. I'm having to leave this here. These guys are leaving all these cars. We've got nowhere to put it, and wherever I put it's going to be sod's law. One thing's for certain, I feel it's safer here in this paddock than it is up in the campsite with everybody's caravans and awnings and deck chairs. Like, of all the days to leave this here, but we're just going to have to gamble and hope that God looks after us and this car is in the same condition it is right now and we get to go up the hill tomorrow morning. Stay tuned, we've got some amazing videos coming out this week all about Goodwood, each of our days. Fingers crossed tomorrow go ahead and you'll get to enjoy it just as much as we will.